Hey dudes, with draft season around the corner, I wanted to introduce you to our new sponsor, Trophy Smack. Maybe you've heard of Trophy Smack from Shark Tank, or maybe you heard them from somewhere else. I don't know. Anyhow, however you've heard of them, if you're looking for a trophy, one of those sweet championship belts, a ring, draft boards, loser awards, really anything fantasy related, Trophy Smack is the place for all of your needs. For 15% off, go to trophysmack.com/dudes. Take your fantasy football league to the next level by hitting up our friends at Trophy Smack.
Alrighty, thank you, Phil. In today's episode, we cover all the latest NFL news, some March Madness, and Divas.
This is the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast.
What is up, my dudes? This is Trent here with the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. As usual, the dudes are buzzing. I am joined by Seth in the back running the cameras, Jordan, who is checking in and out of March Madness basketball, I think, right now, and Phil, coming off that nice new Trophy Smack sponsor, reading that ad read. First one.
How was it, would you say, the ad read? What did you rate it? 1 out of 4. I'll give you your
Okay, I'll give you a 3.
0.
I'll give you a 3. You're there.
What can I improve on, do you think? A little more water?
More confidence.
More confidence?
Took you 2 takes.
Took me 2 takes, I would say.
Should we leave the first take on there?
I think we should.
We should leave the first take on there. If I knew we were going to leave the first take, I probably would have been a little bit more silly. I honestly thought it was going to be an ad read, and then you're going to just play that at the beginning of the pod. But that's the beginning of the pod.
Yeah, it was the beginning of the pod.
Oh yeah, you should have warned me.
Yeah, well,
I've been here for 45 minutes while you're icing your foot.
I had an injury that if you had that injury, Phil, you would have been on IR for 2 weeks. So I have my foot in a Yeti ice chest icing it.
Which I've had a soda out of, just for what it's worth. And he definitely didn't put any dish soap in the thing after he took his foot out of there. It was basically the Michael Scott griddle situation. Like the dude, yes, it's nasty. Who ices their foot in their Yeti?
I don't know.
Well, it's a good. It like stays dry in here, and it got way more cold than just putting ice around my ankle. You're gonna probably some listener out there's gonna be like, hey, I have a hurt ankle. Oh, I have a Yeti ice chest. I'm gonna do that. It's actually pretty smart.
Let's just take a quick poll survey. Jordan, would you ice your foot in something that you would later put some sort of beverage, maybe even a lunch item in?
Well, one, I just probably wouldn't ice my foot in general. So, no.
Okay. Seth?
I think I agree with Jordan here. I think if I was hurt enough, I would put it in an ice chest. But I think I'd just be normal and put an ice pack on it. Or
Yeah,
a
like
pack
an
of
ice
ice. Or I just don't ice things because I don't know. I just
Take some Tylenol, you're not a sissy.
I feel like I don't do anything enough. Like
Guess what, Seth? Once you turn 21, it's all downhill. Okay? I'm 31 now, so sometimes I get owies.
my bad. I forgot Trent hurt himself pushing a swing. So.
How did he ice his shoulder? I can guarantee you probably do it with the same ice chest. That's why it was all wet in here. We walked in. He was trying to figure out how to do it.
No. But all those like football players, guys, they get in the ice baths and all that stuff. The little tubs.
Yeah.
They have them at the high
Cold-
school.
cold plunge?
The cold
Yeah.
plunge. I've actually
Yeah.
thought about that before, but then I looked up the price and it's like $5,000. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
No, just fill your bathtub with ice.
But that's
and
like a
water.
lot of work though.
Just buy an
that's true.
Yeti ice chest or an igloo.
I don't think Seth can. Oh, you could probably fit in one of those big igloos, but not
Maybe.
a
Yeah.
Yeti.
Well, he's calling you fat.
I don't know if I want to spend like a bunch of money on ice though at the store every time I want to do it.
Yeah.
You don't have an ice maker?
Yeah, but I don't think I can fill up a bathtub of ice.
I'm just kidding. Well, hey, I'm pretty pumped up about that Trophy Smack sponsorship. That's pretty cool. So we'll be getting some trophies
Yeah.
here.
When were they on Shark Tank, Trent?
It's been a couple years. And actually, the owner of Trophy Smack did go to Fresno State. So when I went down there,
Let's clap it up for that.
Yeah,
Let's support a
Local success.
Local guy.
yeah.
We support local, is what you're saying, and organic.
Sort of. He's now down in LA area. But when I met him at Scotty Fishbowl, so he brought up being there during the Derek Carr golden years and all that stuff at Fresno State. So yeah, he seems like a nice guy. But yeah, I haven't seen that Shark Tank episode, Jordan. But Mark Cuban actually sponsored him and gave him the deal. But other than all that, there's a lot of football news right now. There's been some big trades. There might even be some trades that happened during this pod, or maybe signings is the right word, Jordan. Remember 2 years ago you came in to record the pod, and what's his name? Ryan Fitzpatrick had just signed with the then Washington Redskins, and you were super pumped up. So,
and it was didn't like the week before he had called that they were going to.
He said if they got a good quarterback like Ryan Fitzpatrick, he thought they could make a
win
run
the
in
East.
the NFC.
Yeah. And then Brian Patrick got hurt first week of the season.
So that was a bummer. But Phil, good weekend. You doing okay?
I had a great
Stay
weekend.
dry?
No, it did dry for the most part. It has been just, we've had crazy weather here. Probably like, I would say, like we haven't had weather like this in the last 10 years, would you say?
Biggest
It
storm
might be
since
longer than that.
1969.
This is the biggest storm since 1969, and it's
Or flood,
tropical.
biggest flood, I guess, is the right
Well,
thing.
what's crazy is like in California out here, we're used to like a very light rain that might last for a couple hours, but like these recent like storms over the past 2 weeks have been like a lot of rain in a short amount of time. And even the one like last week was like a lot of rain in a lot amount of time, which is unnormal for us. Like,
Over days.
we're used to getting like 12 inches the whole year. Well, we've gotten like 12 inches in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, it
which is
just like
crazy.
literally an hour ago, it just like hailed nonstop for like
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can't see, but the weird thing about it, I'm wearing shorts. Like it was 70 degrees midday today.
Yeah,
and
it was-
still
yeah.
raining, which is uncommon. Apparently, this storm is like from Japan or Hawaii, like
Hawaii.
that general area.
I think someone said that a couple of seconds before you did.
Oh, did you say that?
I didn't say it.
I thought
I
so.
didn't say it.
Maybe you were thinking in your
I think
in your
I think
mind.
Phil said that, Trent.
He said it twice, maybe.
He said tropical storm.
Tropical
yeah.
Yeah.
it's from- yeah. Anyway,
That's okay.
I-
You weren't listening.
I'm
Anyhow, I stayed dry for the most part. Had a good weekend overall. I didn't know that ESPN the Ocho was a real thing. Did you guys know that was a real thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they made it after dodgeball, though. I don't think it was before. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so I was
It's been
today.
around a while.
So today I was watching it. They have a greased stare competition, and people are in like just like these like basically like those ski suits, like skin tight ski suits, and they're trying to climb up these wooden stairs that are probably like 2 or 3 flights. And these people are just getting mauled. And on their way down, they're taking out other people, right? Because it's basically a race to the top with 4 people.
How
It's
does no one die? Like
well,
break a neck or something?
they have helmets, and there's like some things that grip, but it's like people are getting just wasted. It was probably some of the most entertaining athletic achievements that I've seen, and probably like basically since the Super
It's
Bowl.
almost pure luck though.
It is pure luck, and some of these people are getting a little bit
There's
more
some
aggressive.
skill.
There's some skill. Some people are getting a little bit more aggressive. Like on their way down, they'll grab like an Achilles of someone and just keep and like pull them down with them. It is crazy. But if you have a chance to watch it, it was hilarious. I think it was in Rock Hill, South Carolina. This one, it was so good. I think it's mostly college athletes. You know, who know they're sponsored or not. Maybe an NIL deal after this thing, but that was awesome, and I would strongly recommend it. I also watched some XFL for the first time, and that was pretty fun.
You see the Josh Gordon show in Seattle?
No, I saw the St. Louis. I saw the St. Louis Battlehawks. I was making fun of the XFL's logos for a little bit, but their logo, the Battlehawks are pretty sweet. Like I would wear a Battlehawks hat.
Well, even like the Roughnecks, I don't love their helmets, but then I realized it's like the same color. It's like the Texas flag. It's blue,
Yeah, blue,
white, and
red,
red.
yeah.
It's kind of all over the place, but once I saw it, I was like, oh, it's okay.
And it's kind of fun. I would say the XFL is better than Canadian football, but it's obviously not as good as the NFL. Do you get what I'm saying? Or would
The
you?
skill level is probably better in Canadian.
I would. No, that's what I'm saying. Skill level is better than Canadian football, but
No,
it's
Trent said the skill level in Canadian is better.
Yeah, I think the skill level is better.
in Canadian.
I would think so. Do you think that's true?
I don't watch Canadian. I don't watch the CFL,
Yeah,
so it's hard.
Neither
like,
do I, but I know it's been around longer.
From the sprint, like the short amount of times I've watched Canadian football, and the short amount of, I've only watched like 30 minutes of XFL, and I'm making this call, which maybe is not the wisest decision.
That's more Canadian football than I've watched. I just figured because guys like Steve Young and like Doug Flutie.
The issue is that there's just no good quarterbacks in any of the leagues.
yeah.
That is the issue. But I think that we have more skilled players in the XFL than they do in the Canadian Football League. I actually would say the quarterbacks, obviously that's a skilled position, but I would say that the quarterbacks are maybe better in the Canadian Football League, but I would say like running backs, wide receivers, DBs are better in the XFL.
I think you're right. You might be right. Quarterbacks it's tough. Like, there's just no good quarterbacks, and it makes
It's just hard to be a good quarterback.
It's hard to be a good quarterback, and it makes those leagues not as enjoyable because the quarterback play is so bad.
Yes.
There's a couple though, like Seattle. That's the one, Josh Gordon, right? I think that is Danucci's on that. Danucci's on that team.
Danucci.
Trent loves
Surprisingly, he's not bad. And Houston, they're the team that I've been playing a lot in DFS. So stacking up Silvers. Silvers is the quarterback there.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
Isn't it Seaver?
Silvers.
Silvers. Oh,
Brandon Silvers. They got like Deontay Burnett. I think he was at Nevada. I think wide receiver at Nevada.
Do you
Deontay
like
Burnett.
McCarron?
I haven't watched a ton of it since the week one. Week one, I watched a lot of XFL, but I haven't watched as much recently.
So yeah, I guess if you're gonna rank them, you go NFL, XFL, Canadian Football League, Arena Football League.
We also have the US. Is it the USFL coming up?
Is that coming up soon?
Yeah.
It's like XFL's done, then USFL starts.
Can you play in both XFL and USFL?
I think a lot of those guys probably are going to.
They're going to play in both.
I would assume maybe if they're different seasons and they can
Yeah.
sign 2 contracts and play football
Why not?
longer, they probably are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I don't know, just bounce around the weekends. Good weekend, Jordan. Lots of basketball.
Yeah, I went to Sacramento for the CIF state championships for high school.
Capital, baby.
Saturday. So that was fun. That Kings Arena, I haven't been there yet. That Golden One Center, that place is nice.
That's what I've heard.
It's really nice. The video board's awesome. Obviously, it was like general admission, so we had pretty good seats. I can't imagine how much an NBA game would cost from those seats, but yeah, it's pretty sweet arena. And then it was good games. It's high level, high school basketball, so it was fun to watch. Good
How
little
far
experience.
is that from us? 2.5?
It's like
Sacramento.
a little under
Yeah.
3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
Seth, you're a coach in baseball. Your team just won the Clovis Coke Classic, number 3 in the section right now. Can we clap it up for that?
Yeah, we got a pretty talented group of guys.
All coaching.
No, I mean, sure, I know some things, but a lot of these guys. Sure. I'm saying I know some things, but it's not like I really have to teach a lot of these guys how to be a good baseball player. They know what's good and what's bad and what they're doing wrong.
And you're
So I'm just
third base coach?
No, I'm not. I'm
First base coach?
I'm just the outfield coach.
Oh, okay,
No, but
nice.
I do some first base coaching.
Do you ever get like one of those, what are they, bunko bats or something and hit fly balls to them? What
Fungo bats, yeah.
Fungo.
I hit 5 balls to those guys
Nice.
every day, pretty much.
So if they drop a ball, it's on you.
No, it's on them because that's their fault, not mine. But yeah, we have a good team this year. I think the skill level all around is kind of maybe a little bit lower from like the bigger schools, and obviously from a smaller school perspective, like we're playing like really good. We have a really good team.
Don't kid yourself.
No, but we should have a good season. And then I also watched yesterday the World Baseball Classic. That's something I always like to watch.
I haven't watched any of that.
So the United States beat Great Britain yesterday, and I think they played today, but I didn't watch
They
it. And I
lost
think
today
they
to
lost.
Mexico.
They lost. Mexico's team's actually a pretty good team, surprisingly. But like, there's a lot of players that are playing on teams that they weren't born there, but obviously they have like a nationality thing there. Like, there's quite a few guys who are straight up like just Americans playing on the Great Britain team because no one in Great Britain plays baseball.
or
Yeah.
I feel like Italy had some of those guys too.
Italy has quite a few of those guys. Like
Austin Barnes is playing for Mexico.
yeah, that's I. Even though he's American, right?
He's
But-
American, yeah.
But there, I mean, like, there's even Trace Thompson, the guy, like one of the bigger names now on the Dodgers team, is like playing for Great Britain.
Have you guys seen the Lars Nootbaar video with he's
Ohtani.
playing for Japan?
Yeah.
Otani?
No, Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah, he's with Ohtani, and Ohtani and another guy are talking. He's like,
Yeah,
"What are
and
they
he has
saying?"
no idea what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I don't know what they're saying.
But that guy's actually from around here. He actually played baseball with a guy we go to church with, which is actually kind of
Oh,
funny.
really?
Yeah.
Do they so I don't know much about, is it called World Classic? What is it called?
World Baseball Classic.
World Baseball Classic. Are they playing, so like the World Cup for soccer, they play in multiple locations?
Yeah, there's one in Florida. They're playing in 4 locations. There's one in Florida, one in Arizona, and then I think there's one in Europe, and I think then there's one over in Asia.
Wait, they're playing that far apart.
I think they're playing. I think there's either 3 or 4 pools.
And those are the sections, and then they'll go.
Yeah, there's 4 teams in each pool, and then the winner, two teams advance from each pool, and then then the rest of the games are played.
So wait, this is the Little League World Series.
It's a World Baseball Classic. The favorites are, I think, the United States and the
That's so
Dominican
stupid.
Republic,
And Japan, right?
And Japan is right behind them. But
I
Japan,
hit dingers.
so low.
I hit dingers.
Japan always has a really good team because I mean that's the big sport over
Yeah.
there. Is
Yeah,
that and soccer.
yes.
So.
Yeah, Phil's probably going to give us an update about his slow pitch softball league in a couple months here. I'm sure he's all amped up for that.
I need to hit the weight room, man.
You
I
probably should do some running or something. Get ready for that.
some strength training.
Start now so you don't
Icing
have to
my
come in
foot
here and
in
be
the
like,
ice
hey, I
chest.
struck out 9 times last night or something.
But yeah, I
you know?
think you can I think on Underdog
I'm
you
not
can,
that
you can
bad.
play some stuff on the World Baseball Classic. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but
Yeah,
I think you can.
think there is. Jordan, do you want to read that Underdog promo for us real quick before we get into our news and notes here?
Yeah. UnderdogSports.com. Underdog is the easiest way to play fantasy sports. Draft your team and forget it. No setting lineups or trades. It is the dude's favorite place to play best ball and all kinds of DFS games. Enter dudes and they will match you up to $100. I'm excited for Underdog too.
Yeah,
The March Madness tournament coming up on Underdog, we're gonna kill it.
Oh yeah, you need to share those picks too, because
we need to do that. Share that on Discord too.
Maybe
all our
we'll put that in the
picks.
Discord. So go to Dude Nation. We got a link in the show notes to that. We also have a link to Underdog and Trophy Smack. So go check that out. But yeah, we definitely need to get Jordan was kind of on fire last March Madness.
I will say like the full first 4 days of the tournament were really, really good.
Oh no, I was.
And then even like the girls, the first 2 days of the girls was really good too.
Yes.
I did.
Yep.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was just under a G from Jordan in March Madness last year.
That's actually kind of crazy.
It was wild. It
What's
was a wild
funny is
ride.
I was making the same bets as Trent and winning just as much, and I was just under $200. That just shows like how much we're throwing down there.
We're
But,
going. We're going after all of Underdog's money this year.
Yeah, I mean, I need, Daddy needs a new pair of boots. So Jordan, you're gonna have to get me some picks.
Jordan's gonna get locked in. I know it. And here's the thing: if he loses, we're just gonna keep coming back. We aren't gonna quit. So, anyways, let's jump into the news, guys. It was good catching up on your weekends. I think we all had a good weekend. I don't think anyone's weekend was as good as Justin Fields' weekend. I think he had a nice, getting DJ Moore over there. What does this do? They got a haul for him, Jordan. The Bears traded number one pick. And just looking back at this, that could have been the Texans' number one overall pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, what could have they maybe have done with that, right?
Yeah.
Remember they had the Hail Mary and they went for two.
Lovie Smith wins the game.
Yeah.
Wins his last game, and then they can him. Yeah.
So they have all those picks. There was a lot of what all did they get exactly?
Did they get 2 first rounders, right?
They got DJ Morse. They got a number one wide receiver, and he's on his contract, so they don't have to sign for a new contract. They got picks, and DJ Moore is the main thing. I think it was 2 first rounders.
So 2 first round picks and receiver DJ Moore, I believe is what it broke out to. I want to say there's a trade in 2024 as well. But yeah, I think it's at least 2 first round picks.
It's a first round pick for this year, a first round pick for the next year, and then I think there's another
Second round pick in 2025, right?
Or I think it's like a third, fourth, or fifth round pick.
Jordan, we've talked a lot about
And DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, and that is a really good number one. Before we talk about the weapons they have now, what do you think the Panthers go with that, Jordan? You think they're gonna go young? You think Stroud?
I think young.
I've seen,
but I wouldn't be surprised if Richardson, they take Richardson.
There was a lot of people saying that I think they might take Richardson because he's comparable to Cam.
I think that's crazy.
That's what I think too. But just the Cam Newton back in Carolina type guy, that's definitely the home run play, right? It's not safe.
Yeah, it's definitely the not safe play.
I think it might be the swing and miss, but
that's what I think.
But yeah, and
I think that Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young is the safest. I don't know. I think Stroud might be the safest though.
Yeah, Stroud. I'm leaning Stroud over Young more and more as the days go by. But yeah, it was funny just seeing the stuff on the Twitterverse. All this people saying Anthony Richardson's pretty comparable to Cam, maybe more athletic. Maybe the Panthers just look back at that and they're like, hey, let's get another super mobile, durable quarterback that can we can work with. So it would surprise me if they took Richardson, but I'm thinking Stroud is what I'm leaning towards right now. But I like that Poles is putting pieces around Justin Fields rather than moving on from him.
Well, I never understood the moving on from Fields type.
Yeah.
Stuff.
There was guys thinking maybe he might trade Fields and then go Stroud, or it just was the pick wasn't right for them. It wasn't what they needed. I don't know if there was a good enough lineman per se, and I don't think there was a good enough wide receiver to take.
No, they couldn't take. Yeah, I think it was a good move for the Bears for sure.
I think DJ Moore is better than any receiver available in this class, maybe.
Yeah, I like Jason, but
yeah,
but I mean, yeah, you're not taking him at number one, so you get more plus a ton of picks. it's a good move for the Bears.
Do you want me to read what they got?
Yeah, read
Yeah.
it.
The 9th overall pick this year, a second round selection in 2023. It's number 6 overall. A first round pick in 2024, a second round pick in 2025, and then obviously DJ Moore. So
So they got two. They got an extra first.
first round pick next year, and then a second round pick next year. So they got 1, 2, 1, 2. This year they get
Yeah, so you got a second. I mean, they just swapped first round picks this year.
Yeah.
And then they get a second
Second
this
round,
year,
and then a
a
first.
first and a second. That's a really good. It's a good amount.
This could be comparable to like the Dallas Cowboys' great train robbery when they traded Herschel Walker to the Vikings for all those picks.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but like they just traded that one pick for a ton.
And
If
the-
they hit on those picks,
And
they
the
could be really
crazy
good.
thing is, you know that it's going to be a good pick next year
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
the
it'll be a good
Panthers
pick.
aren't going to be good.
Yeah. They potentially, if the Bears are good, they're picking maybe 15 next year. Like, how good do you think the Bears can be that the NFC North could be really different though this
But
year?
I'm saying they're going to get the Panthers pick for next year.
yeah, and theirs though. So they
And
might
that-
have
yeah.
they might have 2 top 15
But
picks
like
is what I'm
the
saying.
Panthers could be like a top 5 pick.
Yeah, and potentially
You could even trade that again.
no, potentially if it's not Fields, they could draft a better quarterback maybe next year. You know, I don't know who's in the class, right? But they could get a good quarterback in next year's class with that pick.
or just see what's on the market from this year's
Yeah.
class,
Yeah.
or from all the swaps that are going on this year too. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But like just looking at what, you know, Justin Fields did not have a ton of help this year. I think they're going to not draft.
Sorry, I don't mean to
They're going to
interrupt
sign
you.
some guards.
Caleb Williams.
They just signed. Oh,
No,
yeah,
Caleb-
they get Caleb Williams.
Caleb
yeah.
Williams, 2024.
Yeah, they might be able to trade both of those
Those-
picks for
yeah.
number 1 overall or something. Yeah. No, that's true. But I'm thinking the Bears maybe get some guards in free agency maybe. And
Sorry, did we talk about what we think they're going after with the number 9 pick?
I think it's going to be defensive side of the
I
ball,
would
don't you
imagine
think?
defense.
Maybe.
Is that late? Like maybe I'm way off here, but have you given up on Montgomery already? Like, is it too early to give up on Montgomery?
He's a free agent, so I don't know what
So-
they're going to do with him exactly. I would think they bring him back.
Is it too early for someone like Bijan?
I think it's too early, but
That'd be
Well,
wild
it's
if
the
they got
ninth. It's
Bijan.
the 9th pick, right?
Yeah,
That would be
it's
wild.
still pretty early.
it's early.
It's very early, but it's a thought, right?
Well, I would think the Bears might still want to get defensive players.
You'd think
that's
so.
That's
you would
my
think
guess.
you would think so. It would just be kind of cool if they did.
Yeah. I'm thinking defense, maybe there's a good lineman available right there at 9. But just looking at who Fields is throwing to this year, he has Mooney, Claypool, Komet, and then DJ Moore. You know, like Claypool, I know he's not spectacular, but as your number 3 wide receiver, I think he's pretty solid there. They had him as a 2 last year. And I still think Komet is getting better every year. He had some good games where he flashed last year.
You love yourself some Cole Kmet.
I like
does.
Cole Komet. I think
I was
he's-
looking up where he ended
the week
last year.
Trent talked him up, he also exploded. So
That's true.
That's also that was great.
He might not be as good this year though with DJ Moore and all those other guys, but or it takes pressure off a Komet.
Most mocks have 2 mocks I've looked at just real quick have the Bears taking a lineman.
Yeah, that would make sense to me.
Yep.
So if they could maybe get some guards or something in this free agency, then draft a lineman because usually the good tackles aren't in free agency.
Yeah.
Maybe they go sign
Or
like
they're really expensive.
or they get like Taylor Lewan or something. I don't think he wants to go to Chicago. He's kind of said he wants to he's a tackle, but he said he only wants to go to like Jacksonville or Kansas City or the Colts. That's what he said. You know, those were
Let's
his
stick
3.
to the Titans.
Yeah. So
You won't go to the Jaguars. Jaguars have
yeah, he
they're
said he'll only
pretty
play
set.
left tackle.
pretty set at tackle.
But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else we want to add here to Justin Fields and the Bears, or I'm curious to see what the Panthers are going to do there. I feel personally, I think they gave up too much.
I think so too.
I wonder how many trade. It'd be interesting to look at these NFL trades and be like, how many times? Because in our fantasy football group text, we could be like, no, here's the receipts. I sent him this, and I sent him this, and he sent me this, and then we accepted. How many times did the Panthers send this trade over to the Bears and them just keep countering back and forth? Or was this
And
just
the Bears get more.
Yeah, or was this just
I can't believe
Was
it.
this the first pick that they sent over there? But I don't know. I kind of thought Moore might be a Panther forever, but
Was that the last the last QB that they drafted? Was that no? It wasn't even Darnold. Who? When's the last QB that the Panthers?
I think it was Cam.
Last one
No, they
no,
drafted.
no.
They drafted one last year.
They drafted Matt Corral last
You're
year,
right,
but you're
you're right.
talking about like first round.
Yes.
Yeah, first round would be Cam. It'd have to be Cam
I think that's the last time, yeah.
that they took a quarterback in the first round. And then, yeah, but just looking at this, DJ Moore has 5,201 receiving yards in his 5 seasons at Carolina. He would be the Bears' all-time receiving leader, which really isn't that much receiving yards for a franchise all-time receiving leader.
So the Panthers in their existence is only to a quarterback twice in the first round.
Is it like Chris Winkie or something?
No.
Cam.
Kerry Collins.
Oh, I didn't know they took Kerry Collins.
Kerry Collins and Cam Newton. That's not too. That's pretty good like track record of like quarterbacks being taken.
Kerry Collins did good at the New York Giants, though. He didn't do great at the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, but he was like okay, like he was solid.
I could kind of see then if that's their track record where they think that, Richardson is going to be their savior.
Trent, he went to the Pro Bowl one year.
At Carolina?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like if they that was their last big Golden Boy pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong there.
No, I know.
It's more fans. It's definitely not.
But they have a good coach now, Jordan, right? Like he's kind of a quarterback whisperer. So it'd be interesting to see who he goes after. I feel like Stroud is the safest pick you can go with right there.
I agree.
Maybe Bryce Young's the fastest, quickest fix, 1 overall. But I think Stroud is a good balance of upside and safety that I think is just the pick I would want to make. So I don't know. But yeah, let's move on here. Another aggressive offseason for Miami. You know, they're going after it over there. I know you used to be a big Jalen Ramsey guy, Jordan, back when he was in Jacksonville. He's back in Florida, a neighboring team. You still like him quite as much or no? Or
Yeah, I like Jalen. I mean, I don't know. Like
I feel like
he's not as good as he used to be.
Yeah, as a Cowboys fan, I'm kind of upset we didn't send a trade like that for Jalen Ramsey. Maybe it's because they were, maybe they didn't want to, ship him off to an NFC team. But what'd they get? They got like a 3rd-round pick and a tight end.
That's what I was going to look at. What they got.
I was trying to pull it up
It's
too.
not.
They got Hunter Long, I think it was a rookie last year at Boston College, and then 3rd-round pick.
Like I feel like every team should be like, why didn't we offer that for Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah,
it's a big contract, right?
It's the 23 and 24 fully guaranteed.
You said that you also mentioned the 3rd-round pick, didn't you?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think that's something that like everyone. I feel like that's a good trade for Jalen Ramsey.
But Jalen also didn't play that well last year, so there's that.
Who in Los Angeles did play that well last year?
Fair point.
Like it was I just kind of
I mean,
don't
it's
know.
not like Jalen's making tons and tons of money. He's making $17 million this year and 14.5 or 18.5 next year.
Yeah, but what's the standard for a corner? Like I think he's probably top 10 for a corner.
Yeah, he's probably in the top 10, but you even look at this, like Xavier, is it Xavier or Xavier Howard, Jordan?
Xavier.
I always thought it was Xavier. But they got Xavier Howard on the opposite side of him, who is also a really good corner. And then they got Vic Fangio, who's a good defensive coach. He's the new D coordinator there. So those are some really good corners to go play Josh Allen twice a year,
So
maybe Rodgers.
So the franchise tag for a cornerback this year was $18 million.
And he's 14.
He's at 17.
14 and 17, right?
17 and 18.
17. Oh yeah. So he's not
He's
that
right.
he's right there.
Yeah.
So they have the corners there to go play with Burrow, to go play with Mahomes, to go play with Allen, Rodgers if he's at the Jets. Like they're putting the pieces together, to stop the passing game there. So I like the move. Last year they did Tyreek Hill. This year Ramsey. We still don't really know what's going to happen with Tua. Has he been cleared from concussion protocol? I know he hadn't been cleared at the Pro Bowl, and they were just playing like dodgeball.
The thing is like,
is Tua cleared from concussion protocol?
No,
We need to know.
I heard he's cleared for training camp, right?
Okay, good.
but also like if that's going to be their guy, they must feel pretty confident that's going to be their guy. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not making any moves to get into the quarterback market.
No.
So they must feel pretty good that either him or Teddy Bridgewater can take him to the ship. Like
I think so.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if either one of those guys can play, that's the biggest problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah. But no, I like I like the swinging for the fences. It's like the Bears and the Dolphins have done it the past 2 years. I keep talking about how the NFC, the teams that have been really good have been the teams that have traded for a wide receiver. I don't think DJ Moore is quite in the same class as like AJ Brown or Matt Stafford or Tom Brady. When you look at the last 3 NFC teams that have really gone full, like made it that next
Well, yeah,
level.
but they're also
they're
different.
trying. They're
Yeah.
trying though. So
did we talk? I don't see it here in the notes. Did we talk about Derek Carr going to Louisiana,
we
New
did
Orleans?
not talk about that.
And
No,
it's
we
not in the
didn't.
notes either.
It's not in the notes.
It's not in
Wow.
the notes. Look at that. I'm just
Broken clocks right twice a day.
Do we want to talk about that a little all, or do you purposefully leave it off? The
I
notes
just-
here?
it's been-
you know how
it's
much
been
I
so
love
long.
talking about Derek Carr.
Hey, our fans love Derek Carr.
Our fans do love Derek Carr. I truthfully I don't have a problem with it. I just like
I'm gonna tell your dad you said that. So yeah, I think that's a good spot for Derek Carr. Whether you think he's good or not, can we all agree he's probably the best quarterback in the NFC South?
Matt Ryan probably still edges him out a bit.
But he's not
Matt
the
Ryan.
NFC South.
You're right.
So we have who's the quarterback in Atlanta now?
It's Desmond Ritter.
Oh gosh. Okay, yeah.
Desmond Ritter. Then
We don't know
then
who's
Derek
in
Carr.
maybe
no one
the
in
rookie,
Tampa.
Maybe the rookie in Carolina. You could maybe make the argument. We don't even know who that is.
Who's the quarterback in Tampa now? Do they have
They're
one?
saying it's Trask. They're saying it's
Oh
Trask.
yeah, Derek Carr's for sure the best
So
quarterback.
then they said, but I did
Unless
see
Matt Ryan retires in Atlanta. That's
So there are rumors that Tampa might be making a play for Baker to push Trask because they really like Trask, but they want to have a quarterback competition. I saw that, and so it's like Derek Carr's the best quarterback in the NFC South. And the Saints have a good defense. They have receivers. They have Olave.
great tight end.
Yeah, they just paid Juwan a bunch of, what's his name?
Juwan Johnson.
Didn't they just pay him some money?
They may
I thought
have.
they did. And we don't know what's going to happen with Alvin Kamara. Defense is usually pretty scrappy over there.
I think we know what's going to happen with Alvin Kamara. It's
Not going to play.
how long is that suspension going to
Exactly.
be for?
So the Saints, I think, honestly, it's a good move for Derek Carr.
Yeah, it's a good
That
move.
might be the easiest
Well,
track to get into the playoffs.
NFC is so much easier than the AFC.
And the NFC South is so much
Derek
easier.
Carr might be like a top 4 quarterback in the NFC,
Yeah, he could.
where he's like, now there's only like 10 good quarterbacks in the NFL, but
But yeah, like 8 of them are all in the
AFC.
AFC, and then you're going to have Rodgers go over there too, potentially.
the best like 5 quarterbacks are all in the AFC.
Yeah.
They might go running back hunting. Pick 29, first round.
The Saints?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't realize they were. Because they traded all their picks to the Eagles, right?
So they have 1 round pick from Denver via Miami and San Francisco. They have 1 pick. So that late, they could potentially make a swing at a running back.
Gibbs.
No?
There's a big drop off, I think, from Gibbs and Robinson, though.
Trent, who's the best quarterback in the NFC? I know I'm going off topic here.
Besides Gino, you're saying?
We can talk about that one too.
I need to.
The best quarterback in the NFC. I mean,
It's Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts,
But other than
probably.
that, name a second one.
Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan, or no, not Matt Stafford. Sorry. It'd be interesting.
It's rough. It might be Derek Carr.
It was Rodgers.
Dak.
Dak. Rodgers is up there.
Dak is up there.
It's probably
I can't believe
It's
we're not
probably-
saying Rodgers is not 1 or 2.
I don't know.
no, but
I'm
he's
not
in.
as-
He's might be AFC now.
I don't know what Rodgers is.
sorry.
right now,
We're,
so-
easily
we're saying
won
he's
NFC.
not NFC. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
You're right.
We're
Derek
saying,
Carr is probably a top 3-4 quarterback in the NFC.
I'm saying behind Hurts, it's probably Stafford. My guess when he's
Gosh,
healthy.
Stafford
When he's
is-
healthy,
Yeah, it's
though.
just this. It was such a weird year though, because 2 years ago the best NFC quarterbacks were Brady, Stafford, and Rodgers. And those guys
Yeah.
did nothing this year. So, like, I'm just looking at this here.
That's a good
Is
point, Jordan.
Justin
Like, there's
Fields
not
going to be
really-
a top 11 fantasy QB this year?
top 11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
for
think
sure,
He's be
yeah.
a big time. Like,
Yeah, if he runs and doesn't throw the ball. he
now,
will
what
be.
if Jimmy Garoppolo goes to the NFC? Is he
Or
a top
stays in the NFC,
or goes to
rather.
a different team? Like he might be.
No.
He's going AFC, I think.
Jimmy Garoppolo is never a top anything.
What if he goes? What if he goes to the Falcons?
Huh?
Falcons, man.
No, he's
what-
not. Trent, he's not good enough. Like, I don't care what team. He goes, he's not good
Is
enough.
Jared Goff a top 3 quarterback in the NFC?
No.
Top 5? Yes.
Who are the two ahead of him? Hurts.
Fields
and who
was
else?
a number- was
maybe
number 8.
Prescott.
Dak,
Who's
Hurts,
second?
Kirk Cousins.
Is second just interchangeable in the NFC?
It's Dak, probably.
Wow.
Kirk,
What about Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones, Derek Carr? That was just an interesting conversation.
Did
But
we just still don't? There's someone going to the Commanders too, right?
Sam Howell.
Yeah, it's Sam Howell. It's their guy right
That's
now
who
unless
they're
they
gonna
draft
start.
somebody.
Okay. I was like,
Some of these teams are just going to go with their young guys, the Bucks and the Commanders, and
What would you do? Would you rather have Geno Smith or Daniel Jones? I think I'm leaning Geno right now. Maybe.
Daniel Jones.
I'm talking about season, maybe long run. I'd for sure want Daniel Jones.
Well, so
For
what's
this
your
upcoming
guys'
season.
opinion on the Geno Smith? We didn't talk about that one either.
3
years, $105 million.
it's kind of fun to see it for him because he seems like a good guy.
It's not what I asked.
Okay, I don't love it.
I don't love it either.
But you would probably feel the same way about.
I'm
like,
happy for him, but
Yes,
also at the
exactly.
same time, I'm like, we're really
You're
gonna ride
sad
this
for
out.
yourself.
Yeah,
We're gonna ride this out for 3 years with this guy. And I'm not saying like he's not gonna put up like. I think it's gonna be hard for him to like kind of match his numbers next year.
So it's really only a 2. No, it is a 3.
It's
yeah.
3.
It's
yeah.
3, but only the first is like I think the first
They can
team
get out
makes,
of
like,
it. They can get out of it in
in-
24, I think. Next,
Yeah,
After one year.
yes, after 1 year they can get out of it, and I only think it's like 45 guaranteed. I think it's not like I think it's 30, 30, 30.
It's guaranteed. It's total guaranteed 40,000.
Yeah, exactly.
40 million. Sorry, 40 million.
And then he can get out. They can get out of it, and so I don't know.
Is Jameis Winston going to start in the NFL again?
Probably not.
Man, I love that guy though.
So
Eating the W.
Thielen got released. Did we want to talk about that? We brought up Thielen like 9 times last
Is he
season.
gonna play somewhere else?
man, it was
I'm
just
sure he'll play somewhere
cool with
else.
him in Minnesota. Just local kid, D3 star, ends up starting for the Vikings, being really good.
Team captain.
Team captain. He'll go somewhere else. I don't know. I could see him just going to the Bills probably.
I mean, it probably wouldn't be a bad spot for him.
What about this, Jordan? You see Stephon Diggs liked a tweet this week that said Stephon Diggs is the reason Josh Allen's good. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
He probably did just a troll.
Maybe.
But, yeah, I mean,
His
those
mom
guys-
said something about her wanting her boys on the same football team or something.
Yeah,
I can wish and hope.
Yeah,
you can. Also,
we're talking about players' moms at this point.
Yeah, I know.
This is an off-season football podcast.
one more thing, some more news we didn't talk about. The return of Calvin Ridley.
That's a good article he wrote.
Yeah, good articles
Really
we wrote in the
good.
Players Tribune. Talked a lot about what happened and stuff. But I fired me up when he said me and Trevor Lawrence together, 1,400 yards a year.
Did you
easy.
cry?
No, I didn't cry, but it fired me up, man.
Did you let out like a "Let's go"?
He was like,
When are you drafting Calvin Ridley?
well, I have him in my dynasty league, so that's
Well,
nice.
I'm saying like
but
redraft. What round?
I have to see, but like I want to say like, you think he'll drop? I guess that's my. I
I
wonder
don't
if he
think he's gonna drop. No way.
3rd, 4th round.
No way. Yeah, I'd probably say third's probably good.
I bet he'll start in the 4th, and as we get closer and closer to,
See how he looks.
I think he'll be a 2nd, 3rd round, probably high 3rd. I think
Well,
at
Trent,
the turn.
Good thing we can track that when we do our underdog best ball
It's true.
drafts.
Yeah,
over
we're
the
gonna do some nice
offseason.
underdog best ball drafts.
Yeah, I just think Calvin Ridley's gonna fit. Man, it just fired me up. He's just like me and Trevor Lawrence together. You guys don't know what's coming. So I was excited about that.
I think that's a really good move, and yeah, just reading that whole article. If you haven't read that, it's really good. Just him talking about being brought up in a foster home.
Yeah, I think it makes you feel better about like drafting him. Honestly, like,
yeah, well, and then like him taking the mental health day, like taking the whole year off, like how his house got robbed. He didn't want to leave his wife
Yeah.
and kids home at away games because his house got robbed, and the guys he saw him on video with,
With
guns,
guns,
and
yeah.
just it's a wild article, Phil. If
Did it
haven't
make
read
you
either,
feel bad a little bit?
maybe a little bad for like
And-
writing him off,
and
stuff, 'cause
also,
it's
like-
it would be weird, like if your
Well,
house
that's
got
the
robbed
problem.
at
Is
gunpoint.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You don't see all like the whole thing. So to see that full picture of someone's life,
Yeah.
it's
And-
crazy,
and
right?
he said like the betting thing wasn't really like he was literally in his house and he just downloaded the app and was just like, I'm just gonna do like how any normal person is just like, oh, like I see the commercial, I'll try it out and throw some. Obviously, his scale of money is different than our scale
I
of
all
like
the time just
throwaway
want to
money.
throw $1,500 on a random underdog play.
No, but also like
But his point was like I was just bored. Like I was trying to do. I just didn't have anything to do. I'm sitting at home, don't feel great. Like I'm just trying to. He said he originally was just going to throw it on some NBA games. And was like, oh, I'll root for my team, and I'll throw the Falcons in the parlay. And like, and it was he could have just if you just bet on the NBA, it would have been fine.
Yeah. It's just
So
could he have bet on a different NFL team?
No,
like he
no.
couldn't do
No
like Cowboys
NFL
versus
betting.
Kansas
no,
City.
you're not
or
allowed to
something.
bet
Okay,
on.
that's what I figured.
You're allowed to bet on other sports though.
Yeah. So, no, that's some good offseason. I think it's to be at the turn. At this point, if the draft was happening tomorrow,
Late third, early fourth.
that's what I was thinking. But what are you taking like first number one overall pick?
Right now,
Yeah, would you say CMC?
CMC.
I kind of think I would want to go Jefferson. Is that crazy?
It's not crazy.
I think I just feel like that's so safe. It's Jefferson 101.
I think CMC is also fairly safe, but
I think
coming
so.
off last year.
Yeah.
interesting.
I think Jefferson. I don't know. I was kind of leaning Jefferson. What do you think? I might put a poll out on Twitter.
I actually was gonna say I was gonna agree with Jordan, say CMC, and then you said Jefferson. I kind of like that a little bit better.
Yeah.
I have to think about that one. Seth, where are you going to take Ridley since you brought that up?
I'm thinking. I think I'd take him just as high as like someone comparable, like an AJ Brown.
I mean, we know
AJ Brown's probably going to go in second, third.
and he's
round.
going to be healthy and he's going
Yeah.
to be fresh. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot to prove.
Could have been a good whole. It could actually have been better for him.
Calvin
when he was
Ridley
out.
should be, in my opinion, probably a top 5 receiver pick. I think
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Lawrence is just scratching the surface.
Lawrence is scratching the surface. They're going to they're going to throw the ball a lot more this year. This year, their team's way better. Going to be better. So
Yeah.
Dang, your Jags are feeling probably pretty good right now, huh? Jordy?
It's going to be fun in a few years here.
So I'm just looking at this, this right now seems like the calm before the storm on NFL offseason. Like, I feel like the NFL waits for March Madness to happen, then it just goes berserk. It's like, oh, someone else has attention? Okay, well, Russell Wilson get traded to the Broncos or whatever.
That all happened during the tournament last
they
year.
do it
huh?
like right when the tournament happened. So like OBJ had like a good workout in Arizona. It's kind of created some buzz.
Oh, yeah.
He's back. in
Yeah,
the
but
spot.
did you see what he wants?
I haven't seen what he
He
wants.
said $20 million a year.
Oh,
The guy
yeah.
is delusional.
Yeah. So yeah, he's the type of guy I thought maybe might makes a signing on March Madness. Maybe Rodgers finally comes out and says, "Hey, I'm
The
going to be a
Rodgers
Jet."
thing is more likely than,
I
than
think-
OBJ
Didn't he do
getting
the same?
signed
Was
for
it
20.
last year that he did it or the year before?
Rodgers?
Yeah, when he. Oh no,
Was it Brady? Did Brady?
who did something on either it was March Madness last year or the draft day?
It was
last year.
It was the first day, and then you guys gave me crap because I didn't know what was going on because I wasn't.
No,
paying
but
attention.
didn't someone on draft day do something?
No, something happened on draft day, but something will happen on
Oh,
March
yes, for
Madness,
sure.
and the NFL will be back in the spotlight. The NFL's offseason is so good at creating buzz. It's almost as entertaining as some regular season sports.
Oh yeah, Ian Rappaport's Instagram is just going crazy right now.
Ian Rappaport's Instagram.
He's
If you would have said Twitter, I'd have been like, oh yeah, that's
Normal
cool.
people are like Twitter.
Yeah.
not
That's
Instagram.
more what I should have just said social. How about
Yeah,
that?
social.
Yeah, not
Yes.
Instagram. You watch him, do TikToks or something. Like what else?
He
is
actually
doing?
does pretty funny Instagram stuff on his.
All right.
It's good to know. You still deleting Instagram every day and re-downloading it?
I do, yeah. I can't believe it. You guys. Sometimes he'll put filters on. I'm like, dude, Ian, why are you doing this, my guy? Like,
Hey, that Village
I've been
filter's
reaching out to him.
nice.
I've been reaching out to him to get on the pod. He has not responded to me yet.
Keep trying. But hey, we've talked a lot about NFL stuff. We still have our Divas coming up. Jordan, we let you talk about basketball once a year here with March Madness. Is there anything you kind of want to share? We let you talk about March Madness. And actually, we're having a March Madness tournament. If you want to win a hat or what's it called? We have a dude's apron. Go ahead and sign up for that. It's free. We'll be giving away hats, some merch to the top two guys in the tournament. Go join our March Madness dudes tournament. So yeah, Bracket Mania. It's on Sleeper. So go ahead and check that out. And then Jordan's going to give you, some maybe some sweet plays here before his betting. With his underdog stuff. So
Yeah, the Underdog has no lines out. I actually looked to see if they had anything up yet. They do not have anything up. So nothing there, but like a couple of my favorite teams, like I like Alabama again this year. I think I like Alabama every year, but
The last 2 years you've been on Alabama.
yeah, I'm gonna go right back to Alabama. I think this is the best team they've had. They're really, really good. As long as nothing crazy happens with that team,
Yeah.
Just one way to put it. As long as everyone is still able to play basketball, I like Alabama a lot. Put it on the list here. I like Creighton. Creighton's a fun team. They play pretty up and down. They have like 4 really good players. But they have a tough game against NC State. Creighton, NC State should be a really good game. First in the first round. I don't know if that's Thursday or Friday. Purdue. You guys watch Purdue at all? They have the 7'4", the 7'4" center.
I've seen some videos of him.
Yeah, he's a load to handle. He's fun to watch. I like Purdue. So I like Purdue and Alabama. I like those 2 1 seeds.
Is this the worst 1 seeds we've had in a long time?
I wouldn't say that. It's the most open tournament we've had in a long time. Like I saw some people on Twitter say like how like every year there's like the team that wins like meets a certain amount of metrics like every year.
Yeah.
And like nobody's really meeting all those metrics this year. Like and if they do, like they're like teams that you really don't think can win it anyways. Like
So there might be more upsets than normal this year.
Yes, or it could be just like
That's what I'm all about.
I don't know if it'll be more upsets. I could see not a ton of upsets first round, but like you just might get like 4s, 5s, and 6s all in the final 4. Or a 1 seed and then like a 5, 7, and I don't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Because like all the top 20 teams are all pretty bunched up.
Yeah. The 5 seed seems like they always get upset, or one
Yeah.
of them does, right?
Yeah, like San Diego State's a 5 seed this year. It wouldn't shock me if if they lost College of Charleston. That they have. It's just hard. Like,
Is Gonzaga not in it?
no, they are. They're a 2 seed. I'm pretty sure 3 seed. They're a little bit down compared to where they have been in past years.
Okay.
They're not as good this year. They're good though. They're legit. I like Marquette. Marquette's a team I like. They have a kid by the name of Tyler Kolek, who's he's like a do-it-all stat stuffer, triple-double threat almost every single time. UCLA, I'm a UCLA guy, but they lost their second best player or third best player, torn Achilles, so that hurts them.
That just makes me hurt. Like I
GCU is in the tournament?
I bet that guy has his Achilles in a Yeti ice bucket right now. Actually,
I know Phil's a Texas guy. Texas has been playing well.
Yeah.
that just cheeses me off, Jordan, because they have Fresno State's old coach who was no good for Fresno State.
He was not. I wouldn't say he was no good. He did lead them to the tournament one year. There's just a lot of fun players. Trent, remember we rode Keegan Murray every single game last year?
Yeah, good old Keeg.
His brother's playing for Iowa now. He's about the same type of player. He's a do-it-all guy. We probably might have a little underdog play on.
Yeah, I had no idea who Keegan Murray was last year, and I'm very thankful for him.
Who's your dark horse? Like, who's your like? Did you already say that? Sorry, I'm trying.
No, I'm just trying
I don't
to
know
look
anything
at-
about this tournament. Like, I mean, I know what the tournament is, but
That's about where you draw the line, though.
Yeah.
About
which
It's
I don't-
hard. Like I like Arkansas a lot, but it's tough as an 8 seed to get by Kansas in the 1. I don't know how good Kansas.
Colgate. Oh, they
No.
played Texas first.
They played
first game,
Texas
yeah.
first round. Let's see, like a double-digit seed that I could see going far. If Oral Roberts, do you guys remember a couple years ago? Oral Roberts
Yeah,
made
they went
that
on a run, yeah.
yeah. The guard is still there, Max Asmus, I think is how you say it, or Absmus. They have Duke first round. If they can get by Duke, Tennessee was good all year long and lost their best offensive player to a torn ACL. So Memphis has a couple studs on their team. They're playing well right now. I don't think they can get past Purdue. Yeah, it's an interesting tournament this year. I'm excited for it. I think it's wide open.
What we should have done is put together a March Madness like gift package for Jordy, just because we know he's not going to get out of the grocery store for the next.
will you be
couple
on
of
the
days.
pod next Sunday?
Yeah, I'll be on the pod next Sunday.
Okay.
It should be done by then.
You never know. There's overtime and
This
stuff like
actually,
that.
this week has been crazy. We have the World. What is it called again? Seth?
Little League World Series, March
We
Madness.
have the baseball March Madness. There was a pretty good UFC card yesterday.
Yeah, there
that
was.
mud wrestling or whatever it was
XFL.
Phil was watching earlier today.
Slipping stair slides.
Stair slides.
There's sports is Spring training is going on right now. Spring training, fun time. Just a great time. Who's been here? Who's been to spring training? Just a show of hands.
You bring this up all the time.
Yeah,
You're the one who's
I know.
Good time.
Hey, I think the dude should go to spring training one of these years. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
It's really fun. You don't even have to buy tickets to like have it. Like most stadiums, you just buy it and sit in like the open seats. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but I think we should go there and do a pod. Maybe, interact with some MLB players, get them on our pod.
I saw Ichiro there when I was there.
I know. But all right. Well, yeah. Thanks for,
Listening, putting up with the March Madness stuff.
Thanks for March Madness.
Phil, we all know you're going to watch the wrestling this week. And
I
that's
will
fine.
be watching wrestling. I believe the semifinals are on Friday, and then the
Finals are on Saturday.
Finals are on Saturday with like the
Sunday,
consolation medal rounds.
Sunday you can watch basketball.
Sunday, if you invite me over, well, my baby is due
actually-
on.
Phil's having a
I'm having a
baby.
baby on. It's the due date is Monday, but who knows if I'll be here, man? If you and I skip, it's just going to be Trent and Seth. They might as well just cancel that pod.
Here's the deal, Phil. I wish you would tell us hey guys, might not be there on Sunday. Phil is like the king of oh, by the way, I'm not going to be there tomorrow night. It's like, oh, thanks, man.
Usually when that happens, I'm like deathly ill, number one, or number two,
Or rolled your ankle.
or rolled my ankle and I'm not ice chesting it. I mean, putting it in a Yeti. So yeah, I may or may not be here next week or the following, depending on my sleep schedule.
All right. Well,
Speaking of sleep schedules, go ahead.
No, I was just to say, if you guys are still listening to this, remember to give us a rating and review wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. We are almost to 200 subs on YouTube. So if you can go to tffdudes on YouTube, give us a sub, give us a thumbs up. We would really appreciate that, guys. So if you just, find the goodness of your heart, you're not doing too much, maybe you're walking on the elliptical or something, just go to YouTube, type in tffdudes. You can see us on there. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We need the heart, Seth. I'm sorry, Seth.
Give us a
Are
like.
we gonna do divas or what?
Yeah, we're going to do divas. We're not done.
Okay,
But remember,
well, then
don't be
keep
rude.
going.
Share the dudes. Best thing you do for the dudes is share us with a friend. We really appreciate it. Phil was talking about sleep schedules, but we are going into our divas. But do you want to talk about sleep schedules real quick?
Well, so you and I we talk regularly at times.
Unfortunately, don't remind me.
Yeah, we're all of us in this, so we're pretty good acquaintances with this group here. I would consider decent acquaintances. So I didn't know if you wanted me to go with the dog, because I know you have a dog one, but I also have a dog
We're not
one.
ready to, is this a diva?
I was gonna say a diva, but I have multiple divas this week, and I don't want to say them. I kind of want to just get them out because I will forget.
Before I do have some, but today's divas are brought to you by Manscaped.
Let's hear it.
And Manscaped, the modern man is the man who takes care of himself. Manscaping isn't just for life special occasions, Phil. It's a requirement for optimal health, superior hygiene, and healthy self-esteem. You now have the right tools for a safe and precise I always struggle with this word, grooming, and hard to navigate sensitive areas. Right now, they got the Lawnmower 4.0, fourth generation lawnmower trimmer, skin safe, replaceable ceramic blades, adjustable guard, 1 to 4 sizes, 7,000 RPM motors with quiet stroke. Don't even, that seems like a lot of power there. Maybe it's a little overkill. I don't know. Is this a gas-powered mower? I don't know.
Gas prices are high.
Gas prices are high. You can't have gas lawnmowers in California pretty soon, which is also a pretty diva move. They've been outlawed. I'm pretty sure Manscaped is just battery-powered last I checked, so you do not have to worry. In the state of California, waterproof wireless charging system, LED light. You drop your keys and while you're mowing your lawn, you can use Lawnmower 4.0 to find them. Travel lock product packaging may vary. Go to manscaped.com. Tell them the dude sent you. Put promo code DUDES20 for 20% off your whole entire order. They got some nice boxers. We got the Weed Whacker 2.0 here on the table. Phil, actually, I think he got here 45 minutes early. I left for a little bit. He might have used it. I don't know. I don't see a
That's
straight.
yours.
Yeah,
That's yours.
He had a straight nose hair. It's no longer there, but Manscaped Dudes 20 really helps us out. So after you share this with a friend, go ahead and go to Manscaped. Tell them the dude sent you. Dudes 20 for 20% off. So let's go ahead and get into our divas. Phil, you were already, jumping ahead of yourself. So to close out the
way
show,
ahead of myself.
what do you got here for your divas?
Yeah, so I think we might have some overlap, but
That's fine.
I don't mind. I should start by saying, just a clarifying point, I don't mind. I obviously, if you have a service dog and it's with you, doesn't bother me at all. Of course, I'm all about that. However, if you bring a pet into a place where it's not supposed to be, grocery store, restaurant, There's a variety of other doctors' offices.
Would you consider a basketball game?
A basketball game.
I saw that on Thursday.
Even a
What's
football
the service
game.
dog?
I don't know.
If it's a service animal, I do not care.
It did not have
So-
the
Because
service.
the service animals are well behaved.
They're very well behaved.
I did not.
Yes.
It-
And they go through a lot of
They're
training.
expensive dogs.
Yeah, they go through a lot of training. I used to know people who raised those
I
dogs.
do
and
not
it's-
think it was.
I
a
wish they
service
would have
dog.
raised you.
I think it was an emotional support dog because
So-
it did not have the correct.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
So-
It
Emotional
did
support
not. It
dogs
did not
don't
have
count.
the. You know, the service dogs have like the vesting they
Yeah,
wear.
they have like the legit
Yeah.
thing.
They're registered.
Yeah, so those
Yeah.
service dogs are service animals are awesome. I love
Yeah.
service dogs. So I have a major beef with people who bring their dogs everywhere. That's not okay. Like if dogs are accepted at this location, totally fine. Doesn't bother me
Yeah,
at all.
like Tractor Supply, you can take your dog.
Totally fine. Don't
Home
care.
Depot, you can take your dog.
Totally fine. Don't care. In and Out, it's not a place to bring a dog.
Definitely not.
In and Out is not a place to bring your dog. And some person brought their ratty Chihuahua into In and Out. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to choose a place where I don't have to sit by this person. Because number one, I don't mind dogs, but I don't like other people's dogs. Like Trent, you have a dog. Seth, you have a dog. Jordan, you don't have a dog. If we're at your house, you guys are, some acquaintances of mine. I will pet your dog. I will put up with your dog, but I'm not going to like befriend your dog and play fetch with it. It's just not something that I enjoy. If you are someone who I don't know, and I'm at a place,
You don't want the dog.
Please
anywhere
don't
near
touch
you.
my dog.
I don't want anywhere. I don't want someone else's dog anywhere near me, especially while I'm eating. Right? Like I've seen people in the grocery store take their dogs. I've seen people, and now in a restaurant. And so I sit down and I'm like, okay, I hope this person sits in a different spot because I do not want this dog to be anywhere near
Tell
me.
them you're allergic.
Well, so this person comes and sits down next to me, and I'm like, okay, it looked like they were trying to keep their dog within like kind of distance, and then they hadn't cleaned up our table just yet. They sat down by us. We didn't sit down by them. That is a difference. If I would have sat down by them, that's a different story, right? I was making that decision. I sat down there first. I sit down. The people at In-N-Out, which they're great. It was busy, so they hadn't had a chance to clean up under. This Chihuahua is sneaking up underneath my table.
This couldn't happen to a better guy.
to get a French fry. And I just like nudged it with my foot. Like I obviously would never.
Thought we were gonna have a cheaper by the dozen
You
situation.
just didn't want the dog around your body.
No, I was just like, I nudged it to get out. Like, cause it was on my foot trying to get the French fry. So I'm like, just moved it away from my person. Like I felt like this was like,
This dog was in your personal space.
yeah, it was close to assault if I could be completely honest with you. Like where I'm just like, this Chihuahua could have bit me. It could,
You felt like Jabba the Hutt with that little thing,
Like,
this
what if
little pet.
my Achilles could be gone. I could be icing.
What if your child went down there to go get that fry and that dog bit your child?
Exactly.
Yep.
And so I was like, hey, can you get your dog out of here? And he's like, no, it won't bite. And I'm like, no, I don't care about that.
You're like, no, I don't want it on my feet.
I
Like,
did-
you're not.
Yeah, you're not understanding the point of this.
It's licking my Crocs.
Okay,
I
don't-
said Crocs, the shoe Crocs. Okay, maybe that was too close to something else. This is not a Manscaped commercial.
So the person says, I'm just going to continue on and ignore you. The person says, no, like I said, Seth, like I'm not worried about your dog biting me or anything like that. I don't want, like, how can you have that level?
I said Crocs.
I know,
Okay,
I understand.
holding
I
in
know
my
what you're
hand.
saying.
Okay.
Like, how could you have that level of delusion where you think that other people just want to enjoy the presence of your
What
dog?
did the guy say?
Or the delusion that like the only thing you care about is that the dog's gonna bite you or not.
Yeah,
Like
no.
the point is like, hey, I don't care if the dog's gonna bite or not. I just don't want him on my feet or under my table or anywhere near me.
Or near
so
my
what-
family while I'm eating dinner.
So what'd the guy say?
He said, he's like, oh, no, don't worry. The dog won't bite. And then I said, I don't care. I don't like dogs. Please move him. In a nice way. I didn't say it as direct as I said. I was like, hey, that's fine. I don't really like dogs. Please keep him over there.
You said I might bite your dog.
No.
Just kidding.
I
He
just said,
bites me, I bite
And
him.
what'd the guy say?
the guy's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like he was actually very respectful about it. So I'm kind of going bad on this guy. But I think the first mistake in this whole thing was like, you don't bring your dog into a place where
Second mistake, you bring him in, you stink and hold him, or keep him at your heels.
Exactly. Have a well-trained dog where it's not roaming.
What? Let me throw this out here too. The service dogs, you drop a fry in front of them,
won't
they ain't gonna
touch
go get them because that dog is well trained. That Chihuahua going under other people's tables, it's like a heyday for him. He's
Yes.
like, look at all this trash. Like,
Yes, exactly.
I would rather have a service dog on this pod over 3 of you guys. Say a lot less useless stuff.
So
the
then he then I was like, and then the people at their table, like I'm not like looking. I just like, dude, I'm here to enjoy a $5 burger. This is like one of the last places where you can enjoy a delicious burger. Don't infringe upon my rights by having your poodle or your Chihuahua dog near me like that. It actually infuriated me. Like I was ready. I would never call a manager on someone. I would simply never do that because I would approach them first with the
no,
opportunity.
it made you say something to him though.
It made me say something to them because I was like, and that's the true diva. Like a diva to some extent is someone who doesn't understand like
The boundaries.
the environment.
You don't take the dog in there.
You don't take the dog in there. Leave him in your car.
Outside is fine.
Outside is
Well,
fine. Yes. If we were eating outside and I sat by him and the dog came close to me, it would not bother me. And it wasn't raining. It wasn't the days it was raining. It was bright and sunny outside. So that's the other problem. It's like, it's bright and sunny. If you want to bring your dog to eat a burger with you at In-N-Out,
Go outside.
go outside.
The issue is that they're not allowed to tell people anything because people say they're emotional support dogs, and people don't want to get in the fine line of
There was no
difference.
standardization of this dog being anything. It didn't have any
No,
signage.
emotional support dogs don't have signage, and technically by law, restaurants can kick emotional support dogs out, but people don't want to.
I forgot we had
deal-
Judge Judy on the
deal with
pod.
that.
That very well
I mean,
could be the case.
Phil,
And the sad reality is that California, but a lot of people have emotional support
Yeah,
dogs.
I'm at a junior college basketball state tournament on Thursday. 2 people walk in with they're holding their dogs in their here, and they just sit down like 3 rows down in front of me. The dog's just sitting in their lap.
Why would you enjoy taking an animal
don't
like where you
know.
have to like care for something? If I'm going to an event eating a cheeseburger, I want to enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? I want to sit there. I don't want to worry about my dog bothering other people. And
These are the people that like the dog will like shove their mouth inside of their mouth though. It's like
yes, like they'll like feed
the people
they'll
who
feed
make
the
out
dog.
with their own dogs.
They'll like
it's-
feed the dog with they'll put the
Yes,
French fry in their
it's-
mouth.
it's
Yeah.
absolutely
They straight up
disgusting.
Lady and the Tramp their dog.
These dogs who manscape themselves go and lick their own owners. Like these are the people we're talking about here.
What in the
We might have to cut that out.
Jordan, do you have a diva of the week?
What is even going on
I
here?
don't know.
So all I'm saying is that you have to
We get it, Phil. I'll help you out here.
Jordan has a diva of the week.
So
I
Seth,
think-
so Jordan, what do you think about that? Can you just close the loop here? What do you think?
No, people shouldn't bring their dogs into restaurants unless they're service dogs
Correct.
or public buildings in general.
Public buildings in general.
How about dogs should just stay outside
Yes. Yeah.
and outside of your own home?
Dogs. No, I don't mind. No. Here's the thing.
You can do whatever you want at your own house.
Yeah,
can do it-
outside of your own home, dogs should be outside, and that's it.
Correct. You
That's
should
what I
not be
said,
allowed to
yes.
bring dogs inside unless they're service
Unless
dogs.
it's in your own home.
Unless it's in your own home. And even that I kind of have a problem with.
So-
I'm just kidding.
I have a kind of last week I went off on Ticketmaster for charging fees. I kind of want to double down on that a little bit, but not really. I'm going to go with something else. These arenas, I went to the state tournament in Sacramento at Golden One. And I don't know if we've said this before, but they didn't accept cash.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But were you just in the wrong line? Because that's what happened.
No.
at Trent.
I couldn't buy tickets with cash. I could not. Nowhere. Their cashless stadium. They don't take cash anywhere in the stadium.
Oh, that's so
Wow.
fun.
So you had to use like Apple Pay or something.
Credit card or Apple Pay. And here's my thing. I'm an adult. Can have a cred card with
That's
me
questionable.
handy.
But
But what happens if like? Let me ignore that. What happens if you are, obviously we don't have but I would assume there's high school kids that go to Sacramento Kings games just for fun.
Yeah.
3 or 4 high school kids that go to Sacramento, or we're literally at a high school basketball tournament. There's probably plenty of high school kids there who are not with parents or their parents. Most parents give their kids what? Cash.
yeah, what you're saying is most kids aren't carrying a
They're
card.
not carrying a credit card.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of kids do have the Apple Pay now, but some don't. So, what are kids supposed to do? Are they not supposed to eat? there's some people who don't really carry credit cards still.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Like I know people who would have struggled yesterday there with not taking cash.
Yeah. Can you imagine having your parents' Apple Pay account? I knew a kid who ran up a bill at a donut shop to about $200.
To be
Imagine
fair,
if that person had Apple Pay.
To be fair, that kid did not do that on his own. You know, he told he was bragging to everybody that he had a tab at the local donut shop, and everyone word spread like wildfire.
I heard about it in Southern California, like hours away.
No, but
I might have used that tab.
This is the donut shop by my current home.
my
Payson
point is just that
establishment.
I just don't like cash. Like, are we really like not gonna like? I'm a guy who uses my credit card quite a bit, but like you got to accept cash still and
have
stuff
to
like
accept
that.
cash.
Like for food at concession stand.
Yeah, no, you have to be able to accept
And
cash.
I get like, hey, we only have one register that does cash.
And you wonder why people who work registers don't know how to work with cash and change.
Yeah.
You wonder why.
It's crazy. Like I just don't get it. Like, so I guess my diva is like businesses and like events that don't accept cash. And,
Yeah,
like,
or making it more difficult
on-
on the people trying to
Yeah,
pay.
and on-
like you're going to say no to money?
Yeah, I would say yes to everything.
Thursday, I went to a different place where they had the state junior college basketball tournament, and they
Oh,
went-
they the same stadium?
They went different different places. I had to buy a ticket. I couldn't give them cash for a ticket. I had to buy a ticket with my credit card online.
So they made you use Ticketmaster.
Not at the other place, it was a different place.
Yeah.
And then for the state games, same thing. I had to use Ticketmaster, and you had to get a Ticketmaster account.
That's insane.
Luckily, I already had one, but like, it's just
Did you have
like,
to pay a service fee too?
like an 80-cent service fee?
That's not
Like,
as
why
bad,
can't we just
but
give you,
still.
hey, here's $16, I want my ticket? Like,
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah, it's silly to. I don't know.
That's exhausting, honestly.
It is. All right, my diva of the week. I was at the park today with my daughter, and nice lady walking her dog at the park, and her dog, you can tell, is trying to go to the bathroom in the flower bed. No big deal. She yanks her dog and has it go to the bathroom on the sidewalk. Okay, number 2. And she leaves it. She like looks at me and she's like, "Oh, you didn't see that." Just keeps walking her dog. I honestly, if she would have let the dog go to the bathroom in the flower bed, whatever, no big deal.
Well, it's
But if you're-
biodegradable.
Yeah,
It's
if you're
gonna-
gonna drag your dog onto the concrete, then just leave it there on the sidewalk. It's like, no, pick up after your dog,
Or
Like,
just go kick it back into the thing.
exactly.
Like,
Push it. No, she yanked it out of the flower bed and it went on the concrete.
Why would she not want?
I think she was hoping if she pulled it, it wouldn't go to the bathroom, but it ended up still going to
it's
the bathroom.
better in the flower bed. It's gonna just.
And so
dissolve
she
in
just
the-
left it there. And while I was there with my daughter at the park that I go to every day, she was just there with her dog, and I knew she let her dog go in the concrete, and she knew I let, like I saw it. It was like, I understand it's awkward to carry those bags around and clean up after your dog, but like if you're going to let your dog go on the sidewalk,
it's
please
so
wipe
awkward
it off
not
the
to be
sidewalk.
responsible. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that was my
No,
diva of the
I
week.
agree. No, and
people who let their dogs go to the bathroom in other people's yards and the concrete
And don't clean it
don't
up.
clean it up. Those
Yep,
are my divas
that's
of the
a good
week.
one.
No, the one Twitter user on Trent's post was like, it happens more times than you would expect. That we have a running route. I mean, we have a running path.
Yeah.
And thankfully the city like blows it off into like off the side of the running
Into the
path.
ditch.
Yeah, maybe in the ditch. I don't know. But it's constantly on the side of that running path. Thankfully the city cleans up, but it's like, come on, people. Like if you're going to have an animal, clean up after yourself. You know what I'm saying?
After your animal.
After your animal is what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been times where I've seen people do it, like let their dog go in my front yard, don't clean it up. I just walk out there immediately and I just shovel it and throw it back out in the street. And they see me do it.
Why
That
don't you
happened
put a sign? Why
and
don't you put a sign?
I felt so proud about it because they watched me throw the poop into the street with my shovel. Made me so happy. I was mad. I'm like, freaking clean it up.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. But yeah, this lady just let her dog go in a park. We're at the park, so it's like some like 6-year-old's
And
gonna
there's
run a
kids,
dog
yes.
on. It's not like, hey, like I tell my kid, like, hey, get out of the flower bed. Who knows what's in there, But like some kid's just gonna go walk on a dog.
Yeah, on a bike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on a dog mine, in the middle of the sidewalk.
carry it into their home.
Carry it in their home. Yeah. So that's my diva of the week. People who let their dogs do hit and runs and don't care.
Yeah, I think there's a trend there. You know, like if you're a pet owner, you need to really consider before. Oftentimes, people used to be like, "Can you take care of it? Can you feed it?" Like I know my first time was like, "Hey, like you almost need an IQ test before you're able to purchase an animal." I feel like these days, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go down these list of things.
Might need an IQ test for a lot of things. Though.
Yeah. Let's be careful unless you want to lose a lot of your things you can do, Phil. I don't know. I'm just you might not have a driver's license because I've seen you try to chew gum and walk in a straight line.
How about this? I'm vacuuming out my car. Okay. I'm a licensed driver, been driving for more than half my life at this point. Okay. This really grinded my gears. The thing says, to vacuum your car, it is $1.50, or if you don't understand what $1.50 is, 6 quarters. So if you don't understand what $1.50 is, like you probably don't have your learner's permit. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's true.
I don't know. This is just
no, that's good. And Phil called me about that. Phil called me about 6 quarters yesterday, and I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, it was just it's just kind of. You're having to do math, you know, like most people just like pop enough. If they really don't know how much it costs, they're just going to pop enough quarters in there until it turns on.
That's true. It's true. No, that's
anyhow. I mean, this pod's over at this point.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, thank you for putting up with all of our manscaping rants and dogs and, quarterback talk. We will see you next time. We got a good basketball themed draft for this week's draft, so you won't want to miss that. But as always, thanks for listening and take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.